Naoya, stop ducking me. One fight, Uzbek power coming. Let's go, champ. Yeah!
So Naoya Inoue responds to the call out from MJ Akhmadaliev. And I'm very happy that Naoya Inoue did this. He responded actually right after the fight where Akhmadaliev won that fight. I think this was pretty obvious what they were doing, Eddie Hearn and Akhmadaliev on fight week. They kept mentioning Inoue's name to build the fight, and really I don't think it's massively worked in Akhmadaliev's favor. As I said in the previous video, Akhmadaliev is a good fighter, no one's disputing that. But to sit there and say that Inoue is ducking you is a bit outrageous. And as you saw what Inoue said, why would I duck someone that lost to Tapales? I want to remind people of what happened. Inoue moved up in weight. Okay, he moved up from 118 pounds where he was undisputed and moved up to 122. He fought in fight one, the best fighter in that weight class. Okay, he did not have a warm-up fight. Okay, even someone like Alexander Usyk, as good as Usyk is, when he moved up to heavyweight, he needed to acclimatize to that division. He fought Chaz Witherspoon, he fought Derek Chisora, and then he went for the Anthony Joshua fight. Inoue literally moved up in weight, fought the best fighter in that weight class, won 2 belts. He waited for the winner of the Tapales and Akhmadaliev fight, which actually was Tapales, and then he fought Tapales and knocked him out and won convincingly. He became undisputed in 2 fights, where he probably lost 2 rounds maximum in both of those fights. So I think the call out from Akhmadaliev is just an embarrassment. Like I said, Akhmadaliev is a good fighter and I've got absolutely no problem with you calling out Inoue and saying that you want to fight him. But to say that he's ducking you, I mean, let's just get real here. I expect absolutely nothing else from Eddie Hearn. For Akhmadaliev to kind of go this route, I think it's in real poor taste. Make no mistake, when that fight does happen, and I hope it happens now, Akhmadaliev is getting stopped. He's a good fighter, he's a solid fighter, but there's nothing that he brings to Inoue that he's never seen. This is the best fighter on the planet, and this is the best fighter on the planet by some distance. You don't become pound for pound number 1 by ducking people. Look at the resume. The only people out there that question Inoue's resume are the same fans that say, oh, he doesn't fight in America. What does that even mean? He's fought all over the place. He knocked out Manny Rodriguez in 2 rounds in Scotland. He's come to America twice before and got knockouts in both of those fights. Look at all the fights that are happening in Saudi Arabia. Where the fight happens, I mean, does that really matter? To question someone's resume? I don't believe so. This is the best fighter in the world, and make no mistake, when he does fight MJ, he will shut up MJ and he will knock out MJ, in my opinion. I think that'll be a good fight, but I don't see anything that MJ brings to him that will remotely scare Inoue. Now, actually, another thing I want to discuss about last night was the shocking knockout defeat by Jaime Munguía. Now, that really was unexpected. I think Jaime Munguía was minus 2,500. So he was a massive favorite against a relatively unknown guy. And a guy that actually doesn't come from any, notoriously doesn't have any knockout power. So for Jaime Munguía to lose in this fashion was very shocking. I'm very sad about it because I'm actually someone that likes Jaime Munguía. I've actually followed his career. He's a guy that had massive potential. I think the issue with Jaime Munguía is, number 1, he was never managed properly. I think this was a guy that on the come up, yeah, sure, he's got some decent names like maybe a Gary O'Sullivan or a Liam Smith. But he's got, he padded his record against nobodies really. And then he just, he fought John Ryder, who's a solid guy, and then he just went for the Canelo fight. And like I said, Munguia's got a lot of talent, so I think he showed that in the Canelo fight, and he did put up a good fight against Canelo. And you're really expecting a guy to learn those lessons and, tighten up on his defense and, really learn from that Canelo fight. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's learned the way I expected him to. And the disappointing thing about Jaime Munguía now is it's been quite clear what he's been struggling with for a long time. I think Jaime Munguía does not, number 1, have a disciplined jab. And some fights you need a disciplined jab because sometimes you can actually win a fight with your jab alone. And you can make the fight a lot easier. I think Jaime Munguía is someone that just relies and just wants to get in a war every single fight. Number 1, I mean, you don't have any real longevity in the sport when you fight that way. And number 2, like I said, he's not really learning. And And then obviously the big thing is Jaime Munguía has never been good defensively. I think this is his big struggle. You went to Freddie Roach, who's a very good trainer, but Freddie Roach doesn't really teach defense. And as you saw by that knockout, I mean, Jaime Munguía, his hand is low and he's just coming in reckless. He's coming in reckless and he's making mistakes that I feel like if he wanted to go to that next level, he needs to just get that out of his game. So yeah, very sad to see Jaime Munguía get knocked out. I think we're all looking forward to potential fights against Edgar Berlanga, Mexico against Puerto Rico, or maybe even a Caleb Plant. It looks like those fights are going to be on the back burner now. I think Jaime Munguía probably needs to do a little bit of a rebuild, take some time away. Still only 28 years of age, only turned 28 a couple months ago. So I believe Jaime Munguía can turn it around, but definitely a devastating loss in his career, and one that is going to be difficult to come back from. So everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.